Time for your midday fix of facts and spicy sides.
From breaking headlines to backroom whisper.
All served hot and fresh. Hello there, I'm Monique Tuzon.
I'm Ferdi Salvador, glad to have you with us.
I'm Paolo del Rosario, sitting in for Tita May Rodriguez. This is a daily fix.
And I'm Chal. Lontoc. Join us in the next hour and a half where the news meets the stories that matter to you. Tita ka dyan.
Tito Paolo. Actually, we have two Paolos today on the show. We'll talk more about that later. But
Yes.
he is officially Tito Paolo.
Well, only for today. Again, Tita May Rodriguez. When you are not here, unfortunately, Tita ka here on the show. But we have a lot to talk about
Yes.
today. First off, a bit of serious news. A state of nationwide calamity declared after the tropical storm Tino. A
Yes.
lot to talk about with regard to that, especially when it comes to our kababayans over in the Visayas region.
Yes, there's a lot of sad things coming from there. Based on the last tally, Pao, we've got, apparently we've got 111 that have perished because of this typhoon, only in Cebu.
Yes.
So we're still checking the other outlying towns and provinces that were affected by this typhoon. I got information also from Palawan yesterday, especially the town of El Nido. There was also some damages and fallen trees, and I checked on our friends there, and fortunately, you know, none of the ones that we know have gotten hurt. So thank God. But still keep vigilant, because apparently there's a new weather disturbance coming in this weekend.
It's supposed to be tomorrow, right? Oh, we have our weather guy here.
Yes,
So what's the update?
Coming over the weekend, we're going to get to hear more about that later on. We're going to feel it. Fortunately, not in the Visayas region. It will be over the eastern part and the northern part of Luzon. So,
Okay, will
a
Metro
different
Manila be
area.
affected, do you think?
Yes, because of the size
Yes.
of the storm is coming. So we're going to see how it intensifies, because it is ripe for rapid intensification as it enters the
It's gonna be a
Philippine
super
When you mentioned
responsibility.
about how many people perished, but also there's over 100 people still missing.
Yes.
So it's really crazy. And personally, having experience on Doi myself, it's not just during the typhoon, the aftermath dealing with it is much,
Of
much,
course.
They
much
showed the
harder.
aerial shot of Cebu before and after, and the after just looks
It's so
so
stark.
devastating.
Yes, but Pao, I mean, you know, that's. I hope the missing people are just missing. So
Yeah.
and
will
that
be
they may
found.
Yes, thank
What I
God.
always say about these things, you know, typhoon, it's nature, Mother Nature made it, but corruption and the abuse of our environment, that's human-made. So
And yeah, speaking of corruption, Chal, what's happening with the BGC boys?
the BGC boys, which I just actually found out from Pao as well. I was like, okay, BGC boys that you were mentioning about the construction
Yes,
company.
the
Yes.
Bulacan group of contractors, for those who don't remember what the BGC
Yes.
boys stand for.
Not
they are
literally
now,
BGC, the city.
Yes,
Not
just to
the
be
city.
clear,
Group of contractors.
They are now facing tax evasion charges, Ferds. And when we talk about that, a lot of people are still looking for accountability when it comes to flood control. And there's even now more conversations happening with regard to what happened in Cebu City
Right.
in terms of flood control. But that's a different story.
A lot of people are asking for people to go to jail. That's
Yes.
it. That's the chatter in every single chat room.
I think it's action. They want to see
They just need
action,
accountability and
Yes.
action.
Yeah.
Well,
which is the jail action.
yeah, but you know, I agree. I agree with some things that administration said, that you
Yes.
know, they have to be thoroughly careful to make sure that they do the right, they give the right charges.
Because
or
we
they
only
press the
get
right
one
charges.
chance to do this.
Yeah. So anyway, but moving on to finer news, we've got a new Miss Earth.
Yeah, congrats to Miss
Congrats.
Czech Republic.
Yes, her name is Natalie Puskinova of the Czech Republic.
But also congratulations to Miss Philippines Earth,
Yes.
Joy Barcoma. She made top 8.
Yes,
She was a finalist,
she's a
so we are proud
runner-up.
of
Thank you. And we hope to see you here. And also, things are unfolding in Thailand with Miss Universe.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a lot of mess there. I hope this thing is fixed.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much drama happening even before the pageant starts. But, you know, apart from that, here on the show, we have so much to talk about. Mo, you actually had a delicious trip out of the studio.
I love all these trips that I get to go to. I actually went to go see Chef Chele
Did you get
Gonzalez.
to try? I kind of saw it that you got to.
I made
Oh my God.
kinalaw with him. So, yeah.
She made it, I lost trust.
I'm-
Eh.
Grabe naman.
So you made kinalaw
I made kinalaw with
Beach
Chef Chele.
Chele.
Yes, with
Yeah.
Beach Chef
But-
Chele Gonzalez.
Chef Chele.
But you know what? Mo always bids for these stories.
I'm a good cook. Ano
Yeah, just so that everyone knows, when it comes to food, we know.
Yeah, I'm
We
a
know
food
it's
girl,
both.
so
You know,
guys, that's my dream. I
I'm
want a
gonna
food
separate
show.
you and Paolo already, ha? You two kids, ha? They're always at it, okay?
You're like Anne. Anne's our mom, so you can be our father figure in this show
Yes.
today.
And of course, moving on to the other guests in the show today, we've
the
got
younger
Yes,
Paolo.
the other Paolo today, the
Yes.
better
The
Paolo.
better Paolo.
Peace.
That wasn't me, huh?
Talking about tambourine jewelry later on, we're gonna be having the maker Paolo Palanca. We're
Yeah,
actually
and we're
wearing some of the
wearing
pieces
some of them.
right now.
So beautiful.
Why
This
is this extra special? This
Because
one
it's
viewers
a
can say.
long lost art form that needs to come back. This is actually our heritage jewelry, and Ferdi knows a lot about it. But yeah, we're wearing some gold, some silver, bling bling. I can't
Yes,
wait
but
for the
Pao-
interview.
Yeah, of course, I'm going to talk a lot about that. And because I'm being bullied at the moment, I'm going to separate from these people because those stories and more are coming up. But first, the headlines. Today's headlines. All hands on deck, President Marcos has declared a state of national calamity as parts of the Visayas and Mindanao recover from the effects of Typhoon Dino. More trouble for the so-called BGC boys in the flood control scandal. 3 former DPWH officials are facing charges for alleged tax evasion. Now we begin our food crawl series on the country's Michelin-starred restaurants. We take you to the Gallery by Chale later on in the show. And a designer is keeping tradition alive while infusing modern sensibilities to his craft. Catch our conversation with tambourine jewelry maker Paolo Palanca live. Now, President Bongbong Marcos has declared a state of national calamity. This after Typhoon Tino pounded on parts of the Visayas and Mindanao this week. The president says this is to enable faster access to emergency funds, among others. As of noon today, state disaster officials report 81 deaths with 81 individuals injured and 72 others missing. Cebu is just reeling from a series of earthquakes and severe weather events when Tino unleashed its wrath. But the government is already on alert for a potential super typhoon that may soon enter the country's weather monitoring area.
Mabigat talaga ang pagkatama sa Cebu. Actually, Region 6, 7, 8, Maropa, umabot sa Negros Island region. Kasi tumawid ang Tino and the damage is heavy. And so we are doing our usual relief and support activities para lahat ng mga na-displace, lahat ng naging biktima ay matutulungan ng pamahalaan. Unfortunately, meron tayong inaabangan na parating na may potensyal na maging mas malakas pa. Itong natin napangalanan na 1. And so we are also preparing for that. We are also doing everything that we can para ma-anticipate at makapaghanda tayo ng mabuti dito naman sa parating na Typhoon Uwan.
The town of Liloan in Cebu continues to grapple with the aftermath of the devastating floods. As the death toll climbs and families mourn their losses, Marian Uy is on the line with more on the situation in Barangay Kotkot. Marian?
Paolo, we're in Liloan and we were with the Municipal Councilor Kat Humapaw to visit Barangay Kotkot, where most of the fatalities from the flood were found. Residents in the area are growing restless as they urgently need clean water, food, and material to rebuild their homes that were washed away. Families who lost their loved ones have gathered at the funeral homes. They've been waiting for the release of the dead bodies since Wednesday. We spoke with a grieving mother who lost her pregnant daughter. There was also a father who traveled home from Davao to see his 7-year-old child. The last time they were together was last October. He still cannot accept that his child is gone. According to records from the municipal government, the death in Liloan has no reason to certify. Councilor Humapaw says retrieval operations will continue along with the distribution of food to evacuees currently staying in 5 evacuation centers. Paolo?
Marian, that's tough to hear. Pero maliban sa Liloan, iyong power at water supply, naibalik na ba sa mga main cities katulad ng Cebu, Talisay at Mandaue?
Yeah, according to Mayor Nestor Archibald, yung power generation ng Cebu City, it's up now at 53.55%. Yung water naman, 50% pa lang. Marami pang mga barangay ang wala pang supply ng tubig. At yung communication, network communication naman, it's 75%. And sa isang network din naman, it's also 100%. But as to power and generation, yung tatlong main cities, yung 50% pa lang talaga. Paolo.
Maraming salamat, Marian Uy, reporting from Cebu. Typhoon Tino may have left the provinces, but the work of the Philippine Red Cross is far from over. The humanitarian organization's relief and recovery efforts are ongoing. It is also helping in clearing operations. They are also delivering hot meals and distributing clean water and medicines in badly hit areas, particularly Cebu, which officials say sustained the most damage. Many communities remain without power and safe water supply. Red Cross Secretary General Gwendolyn Pang tells BNCs at the forefront they're also sending medical teams and mobile clinics to prevent disease outbreaks, while urging donations to replenish relief stocks ahead of more possible storms. Meanwhile, the Philippine Coast Guard is assisting local governments and the DSWD in distributing food packs and conducting clearing operations in Cebu, Palawan, and parts of the southern Visayas. Search and rescue efforts also continue in flooded areas. The Coast Guard says all personnel remain on high alert as another potential super typhoon could enter the country later this week. Moving on, a billion peso tax evasion rap hits former public works officials. Their luxurious lifestyles now under fire. Hannah T is live from the Senate. Hannah.
Paolo, after a lifestyle check conducted by the Bureau of Internal Revenue, 3 former DPWH officials are now facing criminal charges over alleged tax evasion worth 1.6 billion pesos from 2020 to 2024. The BIR filed the cases before the Department of Justice today against Henry Alcantara, Bryce Hernandez, and JP Mendoza, all found to have lavish lifestyles grossly disproportionate to their declared income. The BIR did not disclose their income as well as SAL-ends, but BIR Commissioner Romeo Lumagi Jr. said the officials allegedly received proponents' shares or kickbacks from flood control projects and even gambled the money through casino transactions. In a privileged speech, Senator Ping Lacson earlier surfaced the names of the BGC Boys, or the Bulacan group of contractors, where the 3 are implicated. They allegedly used aliases when entering casinos to make large gambling transactions. The investigation revealed luxury vehicles, high-value properties, and casino records under their names that did not match their SAL-ends or tax filings. This is the second batch of cases linked to the flood control scandal following the 7.1 billion tax case filed against the Discayas last month. They're charged for tax evasion, failure to file, and willful misdeclaration of income in violation of the National Internal Revenue Code. Paolo.
Anna, you mentioned 3 filed already, but then how many more individuals are they investigating?
Nako, Paolo, there are 200 more individuals they're investigating according to BIR Commissioner Lumagi Jr. This means mas marami pang cases yung posibleng ma-file before the DOJ at nabanggit ni BIR Commissioner kanina na this involves incumbent lawmakers and hindi niya man diretso nabanggit, no, but sinabi niya na kasama doon yung mga senador na implicated dito sa flood control mess. Back to you, Paolo.
Thank you so much for that report, Hannah T. Again, 200 more individuals to be investigated. Maraming salamat, Hannah. Now, in a bid to test government transparency, Akbayan members urges the Ombudsman to push for the public release of SAL-ends of top government officials. Ian Maghanoy is live from the office of the Ombudsman. Ian, go ahead.
Paolo, a Akbayan party on Thursday morning rushed at the office of the Ombudsman to personally request the agency's releasing of SALN or Statements of Assets and Liabilities and Net Worth of top government officials of the Philippines, particularly President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., Vice President Sara Duterte, and former Ombudsman Samuel Martires. According to Akbayan Chairman Rafaela David, the move aims to test the seriousness of the Philippine government about transparency and accountability, especially that the new Ombudsman, Jesus Crispin Remulla, have issued the Memorandum Circular Number 3, Series of 2025, which allows the public to request for the release of SALN of any government official without the declarant's authorization. David likewise explained that the move will be followed by the group's submission of requirements for the SALN release request. Meanwhile, the government will be compelled to purchase agricultural products from local farmers from a fresh farm gate price of 17 pesos to 23 pesos per kilo, which also includes local rice products. According to House Speaker Boji III, local rice will now be sold to government at the said price through the implementation of Executive Order 100 and Executive Order 101, two executive orders which aims to support local farm products during this month's harvest season that will last until January next year. According to Agriculture Chief Francisco Tiu Laurel Jr., the rice sold by the farmers to the government will be used and distributed for disaster and relief operations.
Well, Ian, you did mention this effort here, this initiative. Do we have a timeline of when this will take effect? I think you mentioned a while ago, end of the month, but is that on track?
Paolo, House Speaker Boji III said both executive orders were signed by President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. last September 25, and its implementation is effective today.
Thank you for that report, Ian Maghanoy, live from the Office of the Ombudsman. Now let's go back to the Visayas region, where a riverside community in the town of Hilongos in southern Leyte remains submerged in mud and floodwater 2 days after the onslaught of Typhoon Tino. The typhoon's torrential rains not only affected residents but also caused a flood control project to collapse. Andrea Salve joins us on the phone for the latest. Andrea.
Paolo, according to barangay officials, more or less 200 families are slowly returning to their homes, many of which remain submerged or completely destroyed in Lamak, Ilocos, Leyte. Residents of Purok Calabasa, Barangay Lamak still wade through knee-deep floodwaters, going back and forth to their homes to recover whatever items they can still use. Men are usually the ones doing this, while women stay in evacuation centers to look after their children. Several houses are still covered in thick mud. ESL teacher Dominic Ruiz says a large volume of water rushed down from the mountains just behind their community when Typhoon Tino made landfall in southern Leyte. He recalls that the flow seemed endless, and at around 3 in the morning on Tuesday, they heard the river wall collapse. The contractor of the flood control project was on site when the Bilyonaryo News Channel team arrived to shoot today. Personnel from RJIR Enterprises Corporation, who refused to be interviewed on cam, said they were there to inspect and assess the damage caused by the typhoon. They claimed that the project was built with 6-meter-deep sheet piles, and if these were unable to withstand the flood water, they would need to rehabilitate the river wall until it reaches solid ground. Lamak Barangay Chairperson Marilu Malaya says she plans to meet with the contractor, emphasizing the urgency of a long-term solution to flooding, which she adds reached above the average human height. She notes that this is the first time Lamak experienced a typhoon of such rainwater. No residents were injured during the onslaught of Typhoon Tino, and barangay officials have yet to submit a detailed report of partially and totally damaged houses. She also requested a backhoe yesterday to dig through the mud and allow flood waters to flow more freely back into the river. Paolo, as of yesterday, the municipal government of Hilongos has started delivering relief items to affected residents in Lamak. Aside from food and water, residents are appealing for clothing and materials to repair their homes. Back to you, Paolo.
Thank you so much, Andrea Salve, reporting to us live from Hilongos in southern Leyte. Now, tensions flares outside the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology as rights advocates call for the ouster of a Negros Occidental jail warden accused of mistreating detainees. Pierre Pastor joins us on the line for more. Go ahead, Pierre.
Yes, Paolo. Human rights advocates picketed in front of the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, or BJMP, this morning. They're calling for the removal of jail warden Superintendent Crisirel Awe of the Negros Occidental District Jail, or NODJ, due to continuing abuses and violations of the rights of the persons deprived of liberty, or PDLs, including some political detainees there. According to the protesters, Warden Awe was already relieved from his post after about 600 detainees and their families protested just last August 2025, but he was reinstated on September 21 and has since imposed more repressive policies. The families of the detainees claim that in Negros Occidental District Jail, Awe imposed a month-long punishment of detainees. They are padlocked inside dormitories, depriving them of sunlight, fresh air, and the right to visitation from their families. They also say there is rampant corruption in the jail commissary. Detainees are restricted to join religious activities. The jail also serves unhealthy food and not clean drinking water, apart from being denied of medical attention when they get sick. The punishments, they say, do not go through due process. They also claim of inhuman body searches and the removal of projects and social programs in the jail. The protester says these are forms of torture, and Awe clearly is violating the anti-torture law. The group CELDA, or Samahan ng Ex-Detainees Laban sa Detensyon at Aresto, were also present to support the movement. While Karapatan lawyer Attorney Sol Taule emphasized that political detainees are not criminals, then why are they treated this way, while the already identified personalities of the ICI who are involved in corruption are not even suspended? Karapatan has already filed formal complaints before the Commission on Human Rights, or CHR, and to the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, citing serious allegations of degrading treatment and denial of basic human rights under jail warden Awe. And they are waiting for the response. Paolo?
Pierre, thanks so much for that. But then, of course, when we take a look at the information that the protesters got, how did the protesters get the information about the situation within the Negros Occidental District Jail?
Yes, Paolo. These protesters are from CELDA and Karapatan, and they get report from the families of the detainees in Negros, and they're asking for Awe to be investigated soon. According to Karapatan, they have no idea why Warden Awe was reinstated at NODJ. He was supposed to be investigated already after he was relieved in August. But Karapatan could not get any information on the investigation. In fact, Awe was even promoted and now is enforcing what they describe as more abusive policies in the jail. Paolo, given the situation of our jails in the country, subhuman ika nga, tapos may ganito pa. So human rights advocates won't stop until this issue at the NODJ is resolved. Back to you, Paolo.
Degrading conditions, denial of human rights, and more, of course, being levied against Awe. Thank you so much, Pierre Pastor, for the report. The famed yellow Ferrari seized on Esitex is now officially turned over to the Bureau of Customs amid questions over multiple claimants and its legal ownership. Just Ignacio is on the line. Just, what can you tell us?
Paolo, the new transportation office has officially turned over the impounded yellow Ferrari to the Bureau of Customs this Thursday morning. The luxury car was initially flagged down last November 2 on the Civic Clark Tarlac Expressway. According to the LTO, the car was apprehended because it did not have a front license plate and the driver did not possess a valid driver's license. Several individuals have since claimed ownership of the Ferrari, prompting a further investigation. Earlier, LTO Chief Assistant Secretary Marcus Lacanilo stated that soon after he assumed office, an individual approached him and claimed he had a yellow Ferrari that he was only selling. However, he said the seller had transferred it without the owner's permission. The LTO chief was reportedly surprised to learn that the Ferrari they had seized was the one he owned. According to Lacanilo, he advised that the matter must go through legal procedure. The LTO chief also clarified earlier that the importer of the Discaya cars has no connection to the luxury vehicle in question. Paula?
Just what happens next after the Ferrari has been turned over to the customs?
Paolo, the Bureau of Customs will then verify if the said luxury vehicle has violations in tax payments, where earlier the LTO chief has confirmed potential tax payment irregularities have been discovered. Joel Pinawin, the Chief of Intelligence at the Manila International Container Port, has also added that once the tax payments irregularities are proven, the BOC will seize the said luxury car and it would be subject for auction. Back to you, Paolo.
Thanks for that report. Just Ignacio with that. Now we've got world headlines and more for you after the break. The Daily Dish will be right back. Can I go there or? Welcome back. You're still watching The Daily Dish. Let's check on the world news. New York City Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani has unveiled his transition team, vowing to build an administration that is capable and compassionate. Mamdani said his team would focus on solving old problems with new solutions, starting with the city's affordability crisis. The first South Asian and Muslim mayor in city history, Mamdani confirmed that Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch will stay on, emphasizing accountability. He added he has yet to hear from President Donald Trump, but is open to working together to serve New Yorkers. Mamdani called his victory, quote, a new era for the city, one guided by conviction, clarity, and compassion.
My first day in City Hall will look like my last day. It will be focused on the cost of living crisis. It will be focused on delivering for the New Yorkers who have been priced out of this city. 1 in 4 New Yorkers currently living in poverty across the 5 boroughs. The White House hasn't reached out to congratulate me. I continue to be interested in having a conversation with President Trump on the ways in which we could work together to serve New Yorkers, whether that be delivering on his campaign promises around cost of living or the many issues that New Yorkers have been sharing with me about the drastic impacts that the legislation that President Trump has ushered through Washington will mean for them and their lives.
Now moving on to Asia, the United States says Taiwan must be allowed full and equal participation when China hosts next year's APEC summit in Shenzhen. The statement follows complaints from Taipei that Beijing has added new conditions to its attendance, a move Taiwan says violates earlier commitments. A U.S. State Department spokesperson said all APEC members agreed that participation should remain equal and consistent with the group's established guidelines. Washington also urged China to ensure the safety and security of all participants at the summit. China, meanwhile, insists that Taiwan's involvement must follow the One China principle, which Taiwan rejects. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy has ordered a 10% cut in flights at 40 major airports as the U.S. government shutdown hits day 36. The move aims to ensure air safety with thousands of controllers and Transportation Security Administration staff working without pay. The Federal Aviation Administration says the cuts will affect major hubs like New York, Chicago, Atlanta, and Los Angeles. This is seen to reduce about 1,800 flights in the U.S. Airlines are adjusting schedules and offering refunds, while unions call the move, quote, a cruel attack on Americans. The shutdown caused by a budget standoff remains the longest in U.S. history. French fashion house Balmain has announced the end of its partnership with creative director Olivier Rousteing. This marks the end of an era that spanned more than a decade. Rousteing was just 25 when he took charge in 2011. He became known for his glamorous runway shows and star-studded front rows. In a statement on Instagram, Rousteing reflected on his 16-year journey with Balmain, calling it a, quote, a love story, a life story. He thanked his team, supporters, and Balmain's parent company for their trust and collaboration. Rosang wrote, "I arrived at 24 with my eyes wide open and the determination to persevere. Always. Today I leave the House of Balmain with my eyes still wide open to the future and to beautiful adventures ahead." King Charles honors 7 pioneers of modern machine learning at this year's Queen Elizabeth Prize for Engineering. Among the winners were NVIDIA founder Jensen Huang and Stanford's Fei-Fei Li. They were recognized for innovations that deliver broad benefits to society. The king also handed the prizes from last year in the same ceremony, to wind energy scientists Andrew Garad and Henrik Stisdal for their work in high-performance wind turbines. The annual ceremony seeks to spotlight engineering excellence and to inspire future engineers.
The king is very delightful. He's such a friendly person, and he's obviously aware of this technology and aware of its human impact. And we talked briefly about just making sure that the technology is, doing good for people, and make sure we're aware of the risks as well as the benefits.
It's such a terrific honor, and I'm here with all of my friends and colleagues. We created the modern AI industry together, and it's really nice to be receiving an award with them.
He's turning centuries-old Filipino craftsmanship into modern works of art. Up next, Paolo Palanca of Kayamana PH shares how he's keeping tradition alive through design. Keep it here on The Daily Dish.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Daily Dish. From fashion to fine art, Filipino design has always had a rich story to tell. And one designer is making sure that story continues by giving new life to centuries-old art of tambourine jewelry.
And he's bringing a modern edge to traditional Filipino craftsmanship through his brand, Kayamana PH. And joining us today is Paolo Palanca, the better Paolo, who's helping preserve and modernize this proud Filipino tradition. Hi, Paolo. Thanks for coming.
You know what?
Hello.
You and Paolo, don't pay attention to that. So thank you so much for being on the show today. And this is such a cool topic because people know the visuals of tambourine jewelry, but they don't know the history. And there's a lot of misconceptions on tambourine jewelry. Like, for example, my dear friend here, Mo, of course, she knows how the Filipiniana looks like, but she does not necessarily know the traditions behind it because she didn't grow up in the Philippines.
But actually, my mom is the one who's obsessed with tambourine jewelry. She's been looking, because my granny had them, but unfortunately she sold them, and I don't know where it went. So my mom's looking, and that's how we found Paolo. We're like, oh my gosh, you literally have all my granny's jewelry.
Right.
And his story is actually so interesting, how he started. But first, Ferdi, what was your question about the history?
Yeah,
Let's talk about that.
what is the difference between tambourine jewelry now and when it started and how it started, Paolo?
Oh, okay. I love this question. So how it started is actually a pre-colonial style of jewelry. So it's been in the Philippines since before we were colonized. One of the most interesting things we found when we were doing our research on it was that in the journals of Antonio Pigafetta, he was the chronicler of Magellan. So when Magellan first landed in
Ferdi.
Ferdinand.
Also, yes.
Okay.
He wrote down in his journals, in his chronicles, that the locals are well adorned in gold jewelry. So even before we were colonized, we were already wearing gold jewelry, bangles, necklaces, bracelets, all different kinds.
Anklets.
Anklets, yes, correct.
And you know what's so interesting too? Another misconception was that the Spaniards brought gold to the Philippines.
No,
we were
that's
talking about this
correct.
off air, but
Yeah.
actually we had it here in the Philippines.
And brought over.
Spain was the one who exported it and showed it to the world.
Yes, it's correct. So most people think that Spain brought it in, but it's actually the other way around. It was already here in the Philippines, and people think that it was from Spain, but it was actually from the Philippines, and then they exported it out of the Philippines through the galleon trade.
Yes,
that's
but
so
let's put
cool.
this in context, Paolo, because a lot of people, they're jewelers. It's
Yes.
super cool. But you actually had what was it, your thesis?
Research project.
Your
Yes,
research
yeah.
project on Filipino fine jewelry.
Yes, the history of Philippine jewelry.
Okay, why? Yeah, I mean, looking at you, a young, vibrant man, I was thinking, you'd be into AI or like tech or, or like, I don't know, Pokemon.
You're putting him in a box.
No, but
I like
looking
Pokemon.
at it, because if I have a lot of jeweler friends who are more seasoned, and it's refreshing to see somebody young. So, but why did you research on Philippine jewelry?
So it started because I minored in sociology. So for the final project for my sociology minor, we were tasked to study the history of Philippine jewelry under Dr. Fernando Jalcita. He was our professor, and he's a very prominent person in Philippine sociology and anthropology. So when we were studying the history of Philippine jewelry under him, we were tasked to do a 3-week research project in the field, so field work. And during this was when we were introduced to the craftsmen, to the history, to the culture, and to the community. So what he taught us was that he was part of the team that helped make Vegan in Ilocos Sur, where we were for 3 weeks, a UNESCO World Heritage Site back in the year 2000, I think. And when he was there were still many craftsmen communities, many craftsmen families working, doing the craft, doing filigree tambourine jewelry. But when we were his students already in 2017, out of all of the different families, out of all of the different communities, there was only one family left. And in that one family, there was only one craftsman left. So it really faded.
dying,
Really,
yeah.
That's exactly his words
Why
exactly. It was
do
a
you
dying
think
craft.
it's a dying craft, or
Yes.
would you say it just hasn't been discovered by the new generation? Because actually, when I speak to other people about tambourine jewelry, other
Yeah.
Filipinos, they're like, what's that? Like the musical instrument, the tambourine. They actually don't know what it is.
Same,
So
that was-
is it dying, or we're just waiting for a new generation to rediscover it?
It's a mix of both, I would say. So it's why it lost, I guess, interest over the decades was this was part of our research actually. So by talking to the craftsmen, by talking to the relatives of the craftsmen and the communities, and also retired craftsmen, we learned from them that multiple factors affected the industry. So there was the price of gold increasing. There was people preferring more Western styles of jewelry over the local styles of jewelry over time. And also like different people trying to make similar things but not of the same quality. So people started preferring those types of jewelry instead. So it was a mix of all of those different factors that really made people not as interested in Filipino style of jewelry.
Right.
And then on top of that, what you mentioned also, that a lot of people my age, we had no idea. Like growing up, we learned about like Filipino food, Filipino weaving.
Right.
We didn't know that there was a Filipino jewelry tradition also. So when we were students learning for the first time, we were really impressed. We were really amazed that this exists. We wish this is something that we were taught in like grade school or high school. So it was really nice, I guess, discovering it, to use your words. It was
So you got the jewelry bug on the onset.
Yes, right away.
So I just want to know, and I'm sure Tita Mo would also like to know.
We're the same age.
What your parents thought about when you said, Mom, Dad,
Oh.
I'm gonna be a tambourine jewelry
Yeah, actually,
jeweler.
what did you want to do before this came about? And how did your parents react?
My major was legal management. So I'm actually in law school now, but my minor was in
nice.
sociology. So I'm using more of my minor now while I'm still in law school.
Cool, he's a legal jeweler.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that. I like that.
Okay.
And my parents' reaction, my mom was super happy because we're all boys. It's me and my 2 younger brothers.
Yeah.
So she had no one to like talk to about jewelry, no one to have fun like trying things on with. So now she has a son that's a jeweler. So now I get to talk about jewelry with her, and she gets to wear all of my pieces whenever she
Yeah.
wants.
And
So
your
she's enjoying
pieces
it.
are so beautiful. Before we talk about your pieces, though, I want to ask: is there an advocacy or a movement that's trying to go out there to help the jewelers? Like you said, it's like the last one,
Yes.
so that this craft doesn't die.
That's an interesting point, Mo, because adding to what you said, if you don't mind, is that other jewelers also in Bulacan, they're starting to disappear because of the price of gold.
Right.
So this is an important question you asked.
That's good. I'm not aware if there's like big overall groups, but there are like groups of us like who all know each other. We all try to help each other out. if we know like if there's a new way we can source from each other, if there's big things coming up, then that's how we help each other out. But that would be great if there was a big overall group.
Yeah, we gotta research that.
But
actually.
there's a we've been featuring a lot of fashion guests, fashion shows, and of course the Filipiniana movement is here to stay.
Yes.
So has that affected or has that given an affect to your business?
Definitely. So it's really great that more and more people are loving local, that are supporting and looking for locally made products, locally made local communities that make things from the Philippines with Filipino talent and Filipino products. So that movement, and we've seen it like since we were students and then graduated and started working in the industry, that people over time, I think, the interest has grown. I think going back to what you said earlier, Mo, na people our age, they don't know about it, but when they discover it, they really enjoy it. They really want to learn more about it. So it's more of just continuing that momentum because it's really such a beautiful part of our history. When you think about like what the Philippines has gone through with like centuries of colonization, this is part of how our identity has been shaped over the centuries.
Absolutely.
So people of your age,
our age.
let's go look at
Our
the
age. So let's talk about your brand.
Mo, can you grab that one in front of you?
Let's
because
talk about how you
and why the tambourine became popular, because it's actually a religious casing.
Correct.
When it was created by the Spaniards, no? That's where you put icons or even relics.
Yes.
So, can you tell us about that?
Yes, so when the Spanish colonized the Philippines, their influence on the local tambourine style of jewelry. So the necklaces were actually also used or doubled up as rosaries.
And typically it's almost longer, right?
Yes, so this is a short length. Traditionally, it's a lot longer.
You're right, it's just missing
so the beads are
two beads. Then it will be a rosary because it's 5.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So each of the beads have their own name. There's the tambol, the padumna, the amami.
Okay, so which is the tambol, the padumna?
What? The what?
Padumna.
Padumna. This is the tambol, this is the amami, this is the butete, and this is the daligan.
Okay, I don't know if the camera can see it. I'm gonna do it camera 3. Okay, so camera there, you can see it? Yeah.
So this is the tambol, the amami, the daligan, and the butete.
Okay, so
you spoke a completely
what are the
language.
yeah,
what
are the what you call it, the inclinations of the names?
So this one is kind of like it's covered in flower petals, so it's covered in small rositas. So if you zoom in, so we show people normally with magnifying glasses, and then
texture.
they can see the fine granulation, all of the little fused flowers. This one is the tambol, so that's the origin of the name tambourine. It's the drum where we used to have, where we based the designs of.
Which is still alive in Mindanao. Yeah.
Correct,
That's so cool. That's so funny. It's
all over.
Catholic religious jewelry, but we have reference to Muslim craftsmanship. So that's a cool melange of culture and religion. Okay,
It's very Filipino. We're a mix of different things, and we bring out the best of it.
Right.
Then this part
here,
yeah, at the bottom. So this is the butterfly, the paru-paro. So it's the connecting piece between the chain and the relicario or the medallion.
That is so beautiful.
Right?
I definitely need this piece. But actually, what's really cool about what Paolo does, he turns how it used to be, the heritage jewelry, and he makes it more modern.
Yes.
So how do you decide what to keep and what not to keep and what to make more, I guess, modern for the people our age to be more inclined to buy? People our age.
So part of our research project was learning the process of how it's made, which is why we were there for 3 weeks. So each step of how it's made is very interesting. So from the raw gold or silver, they melt it down and they turn it into an ingot, and then they flatten it to a sheet. Then the sheet is cut up into strips, and then the strips are turned into a wire or a string. So that's why it's also known as woven gold, which makes it very interesting, very alluring.
It looks very lacy.
What's the difference between woven gold and filigree?
Filigree is woven gold.
Also, it's the same thing.
You learn something new every day.
Always. I learn something from you all the time. How long is the process typically? So for this piece, how long does it take to make?
3 weeks to 4 weeks, because each bead is done individually, and you can see, like, if you zoom in, how finely handcrafted each one
I can see
is, and you can feel the weight. So it's really, it's a labor of love. It's a meticulous process, but you can see by the output that it's really worth the time and effort that goes into it.
Yeah, Paolo, I'm looking at the floret in the middle, and these florets are very interesting because during the Spanish colonialism era, these florets were actually used to put in the altars.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
Yes,
wow.
and that's when you put, so that you don't have to put fresh flowers. They would put it beside the religious, idols of the Catholic Church.
All the saints. And...
Yeah, so that also has a religious reference.
Look, Ferdi knows everything.
No, I love
I love
jewelry. I have sakit sa bato, but that's not the no.
See, we all learned something today.
This is so cool.
But you made this one too, which I want to
Yes.
show, because you made this one a bit. This is the more
traditional
style, and this is the more,
more modern
style.
Correct. So like
with
that
the
one
pearls.
and the one you're wearing now, those are the more modern interpretations of the traditional design. So when after learning about the process of how it's made, since we know what goes into it, what techniques are used, we can give insight or share ideas with the craftsmen on maybe we can do this in a different way, maybe we can add something or change it a little bit. So we can make more smaller or thinner parts for different designs so that it looks more modern, more sleek. And then for other parts, we can, like, one of the nice things that we did more recently was, so from the tambourine necklace and the tambourine relicario in the middle, a lot of people really like it, really appreciate it, but sometimes I feel like, oh, I can't wear this every day because it's so big, it's so bonga. So the one that you're wearing now, it's just a simple circle, a simple tambourine circle. So instead of a big relicario, it's a more modern but still very elegant, very formal piece.
Paolo, there are challenges now of facing jewelers and and craftsmen, which is the price of gold. Has that greatly affected your craftsmen and your market?
Definitely, especially with like how fast it went up over the last 2-3 years. It's gotten a lot more expensive to produce and to work with the pieces because it's not only the final weight, but also when you're making it, you also lose a little bit. You lose maybe 10 to 25% in the crafting of it.
That's crazy.
So it's really
Not our
expensive.
gold.
And yeah, and like the Philippines has such a rich history with gold, but in spite of there being like so many sources of gold and silver, it's still very expensive here. So it is harder to make now. So hopefully the price will go down again in the future.
I've been to gold mines in Lepanto particularly, and they've been mining that for decades, like generations already.
And speaking of price, Paolo, typically, how much is your price range?
So our earrings are like 4,500 to like 7,500.
Yeah.
Our bracelets are 7,500 to 12,000. Yeah, we want to keep it, accessible for people. Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, I
You know,
can't see because of my hair.
Because you are getting married, right? And
Congrats.
Jewelry like this used to be part of a wedding trousseau.
Yes,
Do
that's
they
true.
still use that as part of the wedding trousseau?
Some do, yeah. So we've actually gotten orders before also. If you're familiar with like the wedding cord that you tie around the husband and wife.
Yes.
Very bonga, really cool, brilliant idea. They made a wedding cord out of tambourine
Wow, that is
strings full of beads.
beautiful.
You're putting
Very
ideas in
Hold
Monique's head.
We'd love
That
to.
is a great idea.
So aside from like, people also like, they wear it for the wedding itself, they give it to like the entourage, the bridesmaids, or
Because this
gifts
is
for
actually
the
such
mother
an
and the
heirloom
sister.
piece that you can
Yes.
pass on from generations to come.
Yeah.
But I want to know how you actually got your name, Kayamana. How did you come up with that?
So we
It's
started
an
as.
interesting name.
I like it also. We started as Mana, named after the craftsman. His name is Mang Nelson. So M and N
Aw,
from Mang Nelson.
It's not
It's
an
mana.
inheritance.
Also, yeah, so the dual meaning of it. And then we added Kaya, so it would become Kaya Mana. So it sounds like Kayamanan, of course. And then also it's Kaya, which is strength or capacity, and Mana, which is inheritance. So the strength of our inheritance, or what we can do with our inheritance.
My question there is, because you're talking about mana, I mean, making mana to the next generation of jewelry craftsmen.
Opo.
Has he just oppoed me?
Sorry. Last.
We're gonna cancel the interview. He made me apo.
He's gonna finish it.
It was a reflex.
Is it the hair?
Not at all.
But anyway, so are you
wisdom.
is Manong now training younger people to do this kind of craft?
That's what we really hope he'll continue to do. So going back to when we first met earlier, when I mentioned that he was the last practicing master craftsman that our professor introduced to us, we were really hoping that he would pass on his knowledge. So because it was struggling for so long, because he had a hard time providing for his family, his kids aren't interested in learning from him because they don't see much of a future in it. But he does have one younger nephew now.
Who's apprenticing?
Yes, exactly.
What about you? Do you want to learn the craftsman? Are you training under him?
So when we went for the first time, he let us try.
Yes.
And then we asked him, also, if we practice, how long will it take for us to be as good as you? He said, pag ganito kayo kagaling, mga 5 years pa.
That's not so far.
So we were like, okay, we'll help you come up with designs, but you'll still be the main master craftsman.
I think you should learn it so that you can also pass that on.
I would love to. That would be great.
And you have time while you're doing your
After.
legal stuff. You can do
Yes.
this on the side too. So by the time you graduate to become a lawyer, you can be a
Yes.
jeweler na din.
Yeah, so we can call you your honor jeweler.
Oh my
Your
gosh.
honor jeweler. Paolo, before we let you go though, if Tambourine could speak and say one message to our generation and the future generations to come on why they should invest and be interested in Tambourine jewelry, what would it be?
I like this. I think it would be, well, I mean, looking at the pieces, it's eye candy. Like, you can look at it forever and you'd still be allured by it. It's very nice to highlight what's already beautiful about Filipino culture. So I think it would be more of, reintroducing itself to more people in our generation and appreciating it and learning about it, because there's always something interesting whenever you learn more about it. Like today, I learned more things.
Right.
And it's always nice to have that conversation with people and you exchange information and ideas and you learn about each other through our cultural heritage.
I love it. And where can our viewers find you if they're interested?
We're on Facebook and Instagram, kayamana.ph.
All right. Thank you so much, Paolo. Palanca,
Yes.
the other Paolo today.
Thank you for coming. We all learned something.
Yes.
Thank you
What a
also.
treat, no?
Yes, thank you so much, Paolo, for sharing your time, your talent, and your vision for the Filipino heritage jewelry. But Ferdi, we have so much more happening.
Yes, so stay tuned for all the buzz in sports and entertainment. The Daily Dish will be right back.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Daily Dish. Bow down to the new queen of the earth. Natalie Puskinova of the Czech Republic was crowned as the year's Miss Earth. The European beauty succeeding reigning Miss Earth Jessica Lange of Australia during Coronation Night Wednesday in Parañaque. Rounding out this year's elemental court were Iceland as Miss Earth Air, Vietnam as Miss Earth Water, and Thailand as Miss Earth Fire. The Philippines' Bet Joy Barcoma ended her journey after missing a spot in the top 4. Before bowing out, she appealed for prayers for the victims of Typhoon Tino, a heartfelt moment that earned warm applause from the audience.
Take a bow, Donovan Mitchell, as he delivers a masterpiece in the NBA. The Spiders scored a season-high 46 points as he lifts the Cleveland Cavaliers past the Philadelphia 76ers 131-121. Jarrett Allen added a double-double of 24 points and 10 rebounds. The Cavs have won 2 straight. They are 4th in the East with 5 wins and 3 losses. Are you tired of the same old workout? Well, here's an idea. My Ferdi and I tried out this new fitness trend in Ortigas.
I was really scared of this, but this workout took us to new heights, literally. Budgie Fitness might have you jumping for joy or laughing out loud. Please don't judge us, watch this.
So So Margo, let's talk about this bungee workout. What is the correct term and how did it start here in the Philippines?
We call it bungee workout.
Bungee workout, okay.
That's the basic type of workout, but we do have different variations that we offer right now, like bungee dance. Which is kind of like a different kind of class because it's more flow-based versus, or more choreography-based versus the workout, which is more kind of like a fitness class, cardio.
And when did this come to the Philippines?
We actually started playing around with bungee last year, but we were not certified yet. We took certification in January and February, and then we launched the classes this year.
Okay.
Around June.
Did this start in the US or in Europe?
I'm actually not sure where it started.
Okay.
We are certified. We got certified under a studio in the Netherlands.
Okay.
But there are also actually a lot of studios in the US, and I think that's why.
Yeah, I've seen this all over in the US, so that's why I asked.
I think that's also one of the studios that we first saw actually on social media was a studio in the US, and we were like, hey, this looks like a really fun workout. And
it looks super fun. So let's talk about how much this makes people lose weight, right? Because people are gonna say, oh, it's just a trend, blah, 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 blah. But it looks like it's a whole body workout. And like, what muscles does it work and how hard is it? For those of our viewers who are super curious.
Actually, the bungee is there to support you. So it's primarily a cardio class.
Okay.
So you may lose weight if you do it a lot. It's a lot of lower body also since it's a lot of squats and jumps.
Okay.
But it's more supportive. So it's also easier to do things like lunges, squats, and burpees on the bungee versus off it.
Coach Leslie, I'm so excited to try this bungee workout. But tell us, how do you prepare before you go on this kind of workout? It could be strenuous, and there are some movements that might also strain your muscles.
Okay, firstly, we encourage the clients to disclose any existing medical condition. I mean, we really have to make sure they don't get injured while doing the sport because they want to try this, because they want to be fit, and instead they got hurt. So they have to disclose if they have any medical condition, and then prior to the class, we
Like for example, ano yung mga bawal?
Like if they have injuries, suffered from fractures, well, mostly we're gonna spin and go around. So if they have history of vertigo or movement-related illnesses, so those things. And then diabetes, hypertension. So we have to make sure they got their doctor's clearance before they try the sport. But this is not actually a very extreme or vigorous.
Okay.
It's just
This is not
cardio.
extreme?
Yes,
You're
it's
sure?
not extreme. It's safe. The bungee is safe. It's it can hold your weight.
Anong fitness level na kailangan mo before you try on bungee? Zero?
Yeah, you don't
Even
have-
for someone who hasn't worked out before?
Yes, exactly. You just need the willing heart.
Okay.
And the drive to try.
What's the feedback so far? Is this a growing community?
Yes, we have several students who have tried the sport, and usually they say it's really fun. Well, it's a bit tiring because they're not used to moving around, doing cardio. But after class, their energy is high, the heart rate is high, and they go home happy.
Hi guys, so we're here at Podcast and we're trying something new. I'm excited.
I'm scared.
We're so excited. My speechless.
We're
having so much fun, and Coach Leslie is here to show us. And Coach Marga as well. This is our first time to do the bungee workout. It's our first time, and we're having so much fun. We haven't even done the workout.
I'm sure I'm gonna break something.
No, don't say that. No, I think this
Just
is better.
like my ego. But let me tell you, this is a really comfortable stance, and I think we should have this in the studio.
No, honestly, Ferdi wants us
Like,
in his bathroom.
I want it in my bathroom
This is
because
the
look,
best bathroom stand.
you are suspended and everything's happy.
No,
like,
I'm so excited,
no
guys.
effort.
So I can't wait. Are you guys ready to try the class? We're ready.
Okay.
We're already making hingal and we haven't even worked out.
They told us this is going to make us feel like superheroes. So let's do this. We're gonna go.
So for the first 2/8 of the song, we are gonna do flicking. So imagine you have drumsticks, left, and then right hook, right hook, left hook.
Wow.
just under the ankle. It's like doing a squat off the bungee, but so we're following that. You're gonna push your butt to the back, and also keeping your core engaged and kind of like pushing down. Feet are hip
I don't have a core.
Wider. Yeah, so we're just warming up with doing our squats. Yeah, and you notice how much easier it is to do the squats on the bungee. Okay, let's try now doing consecutive squats by staying down. So when you push down on your first one, you're gonna go pump.
Oh, we can do that.
And up.
Okay.
So down, 2, 3, and up.
Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3.
And up. Okay, so now we're going to go forward on the bungee by stepping. So it's like we're stepping to the right, left, and then we're in the squat position in front, and then we're going to step to the back. Yes. Right?
You just made it more complicated.
Okay, now right, left, back, good. And down, left, and right, back, and left. Few more. And right, left.
That's a lower body workout.
Oh my God. You're pushing against the bungee. That's for the
My booty better be big after this. Oh my God.
back. Then we do this.
Front, forward, then.
Forward and back. And squat. And forward. And back.
Ay, my back pala.
Forward. And back. There you go. Watch this. And down. And up. 5, 6, 7, 8.
How sweaty. This is actually a great workout.
Fantastic.
Am I the only one sweating?
I'm so glad we discovered this, guys. Join us again next time for our next fitness discovery.
Yeah, you guys
I
definitely have to do
promise
this.
you, it's gonna be fun.
And I'm not gonna join it.
No, honestly, this is one of my favorite new workouts. I can't wait to do this more.
Yeah.
Let's do a little
I think
jump
we're
one
gonna
more
sign
time.
No.
Ready?
I think let's do the start.
Yeah, let's do the start.
2, 3,
Yay!
That was fun to watch. And funny, and funny.
I have questions. All right, Chal, let's go through this. Let's start off with Ferdi.
By the way, I
Okay.
just have to say, I love the close-ups. We should have more of that. Ferdi, those close-ups are amazing.
Oh my God.
I love it.
And kudos to Mai, by the way. She made it look so...
She was really enjoying it.
Yeah, she looked flawless.
I mean, I love at how easy it looked for her and how hard it looked for Mo.
Talagang her.
Oh,
lang.
oh, tita, sweet tita. And then, but then the first, I mean, like, just the feeling at the back because we loved your reactions.
But I purposely stayed in the back so
Parang di
you
ka
don't
kita.
get the real reaction. Okay, I'ma keep it real. Okay, it's a great workout. It's amazing, but I'm just old. Like my bones had to be oiled after
The
that.
honesty there.
The honesty.
And the hingal.
You didn't see a lot of the clips there. Well, because if they actually
Rolled everything.
Rolled
our
everything.
clips, the only thing you'd hear is bleep, 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 bleep.
The real honest.
Oh, that's
no,
so
that's
good. I mean, I hope we can forward it again later to the part wherein it was just Mo and Ferdi dying, and Mai looked so
She
fit.
really enjoyed it.
She did not have a
loved it.
problem.
I actually loved it though. It's a good workout.
She wasn't. Mai was not breaking a sweat.
No, she wasn't. I was sweating like crazy.
That's
That was a great workout.
insane.
I had fun though.
Yeah.
I want to do
was
it
a
again.
real workout,
You
yeah.
guys have to come with us next
I
time.
think you should.
I'll have to go back to my morning show, guys. Sorry.
Stick around, Paolo. Hop around with us.
Hop around, my
Yeah,
God.
it was
Did you
fun.
feel like a frog?
Yes.
I felt more like
I
Superman.
must say, those squats, Ferdi, you could do them well.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because there's a bungee cord supporting me. If I didn't have a bungee cord supporting me, that's it, man.
May tulong.
Game over. Game over.
It actually helps a lot, but you know what? From all that sweat that happened, I wanted to eat. So let's talk about our next segment because he came to Manila with 2 chef jackets and a dream, and it turned into a Michelin star rooted in Filipino soul. We're dishing out Chef Chele Gonzalez's story of Gallery by Chele right after the break. The Daily Dish will be right back.
Workout.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Daily Dish. Now, I hope you guys are hungry. Chef Chele Gonzalez didn't just bring the world to Manila, Manila transformed him. And now, through that Michelin star, the world is finally tasting it. Watch his inspiring story. From Cantabria in northern Spain to the chaotic, messy, magnetic pulse of Manila, Chef Chele Gonzalez didn't just relocate here. He rooted himself here. He listened to that inner voice that told him, stay in the Philippines. And that choice has now earned him one of the world's most highest culinary honors, a Michelin star.
I was 35 at that time, and it's what interior voice inside me is, is what I feel. My recipe book, and come by myself. No, I didn't know anybody, and to look for a job. And I don't know, doing the interviews and doing the food testings, I just felt happy and right here.
But Chele's cuisine isn't just fine dining. It's what he calls anthropological cuisine, cooking that studies culture the way an anthropologist studies civilizations. He travels to different regions of the Philippines, immerses himself with indigenous communities, learns from them, listens to their stories, their rituals, their heirloom ingredients, because he believes food is not invented in the kitchen. Food is born in the culture.
So I think I saw an inspiration in every corner. And I felt that, work with indigenous communities, it was magical. Because I think that is something that the Philippines have that many other countries around the world, it doesn't.
Right.
So it just, again, it was an essential feeling of interest and curiosity.
From the sourness philosophy of sinigang to the smoky layers of inasal, the clean purity of tinola, and the wild raw spirit of kinilaw, these Filipino dishes continue to fascinate him, ground him, and inspire him. I was lucky enough to learn how Chef Chele makes kinilaw. So this is going to be the highlight of my career, not only in Bilyonaryo, but the highlight of my life because I'm living out my dream. If I wasn't a broadcaster, I would actually be a chef. And today I get to cook beside Chef Chele, the one and only. We are making his first course, which is a kinilaw.
We have my favorite vinegar.
Same pinakurat.
Pinakurat.
Literally, this is what dreams are made of.
I cannot say one because it will be unfair and because it will not be real.
Okay.
But
you can give us a couple.
Few. So if I'm in a rainy day where it's a little bit, comforting, I like, tinola very much.
Oh, we
it's
love
like
tinola.
A chicken soup that my mom will prepare like at least 2 or 3 times a week. I love sinigang because I believe it's something unique that I have never experienced in any other culinary culture in the world. So for me, that is a truly representation of Filipino food.
He merged Spanish discipline with Filipino heart. He stayed consistent, worked hard, and let Philippine ingredients shine, not as accessory, but as center.
What we want to highlight Filipino ingredients. Endemic, local, humble. Some people at that time felt that we were crazy. Some people didn't want to come because, oh, if I go to a fine dining restaurant or if I go to a high-end restaurant, I expected to have Wagyu, I expected to have fish from different countries, I expected to have truffle, I expected to have things that, they are not part of my daily life.
Right.
But for me, it was a complete different story. It was a foreign eyes looking, humble ingredients as the most, luxurious thing ever, because I never have those ingredients in my country. I find myself going to the street and try street food. I find myself looking for ingredients that for some Filipinos, it were very common, but for me, it was the most magical thing ever.
Like what?
Even calamansi.
Oh, I love calamansi. You can't get that anywhere.
Yes, and it's endemic from the Philippines. Calamansi is very interesting and very complex because the skin, what is the natural essential oils, will have very mandarin notes, where the juice is very, vibrant and very sour.
And now that Michelin has recognized Gallery by Chele, he says it isn't pressure at all. It's motivation. Motivation to deepen, not to compare. Motivation to push forward, not to conform. Wow, it's so good already.
For me, we always have been trying to push for 2 stars. But our inspiration, our push, is I feel now even more motivated to come back to the kitchen and become better, and do all the next menu next year, the rice, to even better than this one, and keep learning, keep updating ourselves, keep be more fine, more so learn, grow. My commitment with my diners first, and of course with Michelin, is to keep the standards, bring even higher standards, keep pushing, because this is all about how Gallery by Chele have been always there. But we have so many plans and so many things coming up. We want also to improve so many things, not only because of Michelin, but I think Michelin gives you the opportunity to keep growing. It's also an opportunity. So I don't feel fear. I feel motivation, and I feel inspiration, and I feel that with my personality, that I want to keep growing, and becoming better.
Because sometimes home isn't the place where you were born. It's the place where your purpose feels understood. And for Chef Chele, the Philippines didn't just influence his cooking. The Philippines became his cooking. A star earned not by chasing European standards, but by believing the Filipino story was already world-class.
Mo, I am jealous and hungry.
I got so hungry watching that too.
Every time I see you eat, I'm like,
Shout out to my buddy Chef Chele Gonzalez.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Well
For
deserved.
being so accommodating.
Well deserved.
We shot that in the middle of dinner service, so it was so nakakahiya. I felt bad.
And you got to try making it as well.
But Chef Chele was so down. He was so accommodating, so nice. Well, thank you, Chef Chele.
Just to be clear, what you made, did they serve it?
Yeah, it was world class.
Okay, kasi baka may discount kung gawa ni Mo.
With a star.
You too. Talaga, you
No, but
too.
shout out to Ferdi for hooking us up.
Yes,
Thank
and
you.
I hope to get to try
Special.
Chef Chele. Hi, Chef Chele. Yeah, I'd love to. But yeah, so from those stars to another star. Oh my gosh, tomorrow.
So we start the week strong, and we're gonna end it strong too. Tomorrow on the Daily Dish, the Diamond Star, Maricel Soriano, will join us live. We'll also have Dr. Shiba, the CEO of Philip Renner, on the show for matters related to your pets. Catch that conversation live at noon only here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
And of course, our Christmas countdown. I want to try it like Ferdi.
Okay,
3, 2,
go.
1, go!
49
49 days!
49 days.
I didn't know that existed. Countdown.
49 days! That's close,
That
guys.
is. But that is also it for us today, Thursday, November 6th. Join us again tomorrow for more Real Talk
A lot of spilled tea.
With zero filter, I'm Monique Tuzon. Anytime is a good time because there's always more fun with us.
I'm Ferdi Salvador, always on top with the news and stories that matter most.
I'm Chal. Lontoc. Stay tuned to the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Thanks for making us your lunchtime companion. I'm Paolo de Rosario, sitting in for Tita May Rodriguez. That's the Daily Dish. Sir.
We're so in trouble.
This is my day.